Steve and Jill here.
Hello.
Welcome to the House Academy Show, entertaining real estate investment talk. I'm Steve and Jack Butala.
And I'm Jill DeWitt, broadcasting from clearly rainy Southern California.
Today, Jill and I talk about how to price your house offer campaign. Couldn't be more simple. I have to say, because we're between Thanksgiving and Christmas.
We're between
Seen more baking supplies, cookies, Caro syrup, powdered sugar in my entire life as is on our kitchen island right now.
chocolate chips, nuts, candy,
When Jill and I first met,
cheese.
I was horrified by this whole holiday event. And now the kids are a little bit older. And I have to say I love it. I don't know if I've ever admitted that, but now I really like it.
Well, now you have a reason to celebrate, and that reason is me.
So what are you going to make?
Well, I'm going to do a lot of coffee cake and a lot of
I love coffee cake.
cookies. And now we actually, in this kitchen that we have now, has the restaurant quality oven. It's a shame not to use it. So I'm going to use it. It's really awesome. You saw our kid's face light up the other day when I mentioned coffee cake, and he's like, he went from this age, went from 16 to 6. Like, coffee cake? Yes.
What is it about these holiday seasons that you just love? Because I'm converted.
That's a very good question. I think because I have such fond memories of really fun Christmases, and I know as silly as it sounds, my mom was big on a lot of presents. So they might not have been big presents, but there were a lot of presents. Because I think her childhood growing up wasn't that way. So she wanted to make it dreamy for us. So we would have a tree and a sea of presents around it. So I always get all excited. So that's still what I do. I know you're more about experiences than presents, and I like that as well. But it's still like waking up and having fun stuff to open, even if it's little.
We're going to be in Wyoming this Christmas, so I wonder how that's going to go. I'm sure that you will.
There will be presents. Not to worry. I have that covered.
Before we get into it, let's take a question posted by one of our members on the houseacademy.com online community. I'm confused, but it's still free.
That's right. There are two. Leaf says, and so I did a little research. I don't think he's a member, so we'll see here. Based on this question, I don't think he's a member, but it's a very good question. And this, I want to point out too, so this is the thing, you don't have to be a member to be on the online community, either Land or House Academy. There's a free level for everyone. So get in there, ask some questions.
Something for everyone, truly.
Exactly. So I finally caught up on the Land Academy podcast, having started around podcast 800 several years ago. Wow. I got to pause. Wow. Started at 800, went forward to now, and then went back and did 1 through 799. That does take a while. Whew.
As hard as those were to listen, it's even harder to record them.
Yes. And actually it sounds like he's still going back. We'll go back earlier in the Land Academy podcast after I'm current in House Academy. Okay. But I'm listening to the first 5 to 7 today. Made me think. I haven't gone pro yet. Got to figure out getting the wife on board still. But do y'all think that going through the courses would help me sell my car? This is very interesting. It's a 2015 hybrid Honda Accord, which KBB says I should be about even in at a private party sale, and I owe about $2,500 less than the average dealer price in my area. Also, what about selling my own house to be able to just get out of it with hopefully have some left over? I owe $104,000, and the city assessed this year guessing about $145,000. The kitchen is old and rough, but the new roof and windows all around, and hard to find comps on solar systems. Our electric bill is normally $10 to $20 a month before the install. Yearly average was about $125 a month. It's a raised ranch of we're getting into details here, 1,525 square feet upstairs, 1,100 square feet, and 1-car garage downstairs, 1/3 acre lot, large fenced-in backyard, and a 10 by 12 wood shed in good but not excellent shape out back. A lot of detail. But wait, there's more. Maybe if I could sell the car, it's unneeded now as I'm a trucker, or the house below retail as a fixer, but leave the kitchen needing done and still getting sold quickly with some extra cash beyond closing costs, that would catch our attention. Or I already have a lot to say. We'll be home in several days and trying to figure out exactly how to help her get on the same page with me doing this, even though she doesn't want help directly on a day-to-day basis. Thoughts? Oh boy. The last thing I would want to hear as a woman is, hey baby, we're selling it all.
Yeah. To take a chance.
On a new business, not sure where we're going, not sure what we're doing yet, but trust me.
Let's start with the good news here.
Okay.
This person is Leaf is his name, is it her? Mm-hmm. Is very bright and very detail oriented.
Correct.
And cares enough about his family and his wife to make sure that they're on board before he does something stupid.
Correct.
That separates him from about 98% of all the other men on the planet.
That's exactly right. Thank you, Lee, for thinking about your wife and not making any decisions without her.
This is a well thought out question. It's well typed out for the vast majority of it's in full sentences. So all that basic stuff is good.
You put a lot of weight in full sentences, by the way.
Please don't. Yes, I do.
Okay.
Please don't liquidate your life to start Land Academy. Please. By any stretch. Maybe if you have a comic book collection that you're never going to look at again because you've outgrown it, sell that. But that's about it.
Clean out the garage. I'm good with that.
Or use House Tank or Land Tank to fund your transactions. You don't need to use your own money. What you need to do is, in my opinion, is make a commitment and get your spouse on board and do a few deals. Maybe you're a member, maybe you're not.
I would say if you have nothing, I want you to save up $5,000 to $10,000 just to get this rolling.
Yeah.
I want you to be able to get the education, be able to afford data and mail and those things that you have to spend on the front end, even if you're not funding your own deals. You need to do that.
Yeah.
And I would like you to be able to do a couple deals on your own.
Me too.
Because if you're coming in brand new and looking to bring in an investor to fund your deals, not having experience on your belt, it's harder than, hey, I already know this area. I already did 3. Here's how they went. Now I have these 6 more lined up, ready to go. You want to do them with me because I know how it's going to go. That makes so much sense.
I'm not plugging our own website, but if you're pressed for time and cash, if you go to landstay.com, or if you go to we auction off properties on eBay every single week on Sunday. They close on Sunday. And some of them are great. Some of the properties we have on there are buildable mobile home lots that, you can buy for a couple $1,000 and sell them on the MLS for 5 or 6. So, there's a lot of ways to buy property without just going through the whole full-blown scenario of sending a mail campaign out and learning how to close your own deals and things like that. That should be your ultimate goal because that is the right way to do it. But there's a lot of other ways. There's people in our group. If you go on to landinvestors.com, ask them, do you guys have any properties for sale that are super cheap? Believe me, you're going to get 500 responses to that very, very quickly.
Exactly.
So please don't sell your house and your car and stuff. And that's not going to impress your wife, I don't think.
Well, and the best way to get your wife involved is just kind of what we said. Here's the plan. We're not changing a thing, but we're going to put away $500 right now every month. And at the end of next year, we're going to have X amount of $1,000, and this is what we're going to do.
That'd be good.
And in that time, you'll get through the other 800 episodes, and you will be a pro. You will have a lot of information, and that's why I want it. I love people that take their time, honestly, really get to know this business, be involved in the community, talk to people, learn about the deals that they're doing. So when it's your time and you have the money to do this, you're ready. You have it all figured out. You've already got the counties figured out. All you needed now was the access to the data, which you got the day you joined, and things like that.
Exactly. Today's topic, how to price your house offer campaign. This is why you're listening. So you have lots of notes. Or are they notes about cooking?
Yeah, I have no notes here that relate to this topic. None. I was going to just kind of coast over here and continue working on my shopping list while you talked. Just kidding. Oh, these notes are not those notes.
Those are for like another show, aren't they?
Yeah, this is.
Oh, actually, those are notes on. This is what happens. Jill just wrote she brain surged
A book.
a book.
A full book.
It says book number 1 and chapters, and she just wrote all the chapters out of
Yeah.
her book. And I thought she was actually mentally and physically vested in doing this episode. Right.
Well, you want to hear some of my chapters because it's actually kind of funny. So here's a little side note. This is
What's the title of the book?
Jack and Jill's Guide to Relationships. You like this? Okay, here it goes.
These poor people listening are like,
This is so
How do
funny.
I just want to know how to price an offer campaign.
This is let me just give you the first 3 chapters because it's so flippin' funny. Chapter 1, Patience 101. Chapter 2, When to Roll Over. Chapter 3, Picking the Right Partner. It might take a few tries. I would read that book. Would you read that book?
I would write it, then read
There
it.
we go. So that's those are the notes that you're reading that aren't the
That
notes
could
of
be
the
a
show.
show.
It-
One of those could be a
Oh,
subject.
It's going to be a whole separate thing. We'll get to that
That'd be
later.
fun.
It's going to be great. It's going to be good.
It'd be
All right.
fun and sounds like a money hole, but it would be fun.
Oh yeah, it's just going to be. Actually, it's just an expression. It's stuff I need to get out.
After doing like 1,200 or 1,300 shows or whatever this is now,
Right.
Jill wants to actually talk about something she's interested in.
Yeah. Thank you. Is it my turn yet?
You know, the next decade's for you, sweetheart.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, that's it. That's perfect. That's fair. Oh,
It's 2020. That's your decade.
Oh, I'm writing
2020
this
to 2030.
down. This decade's for Jill. I love it. Okay, that is going to be on the wall everywhere.
Here's how you price
Uh-huh.
a house offer campaign. And I'm going to skip along the top here and get into detail where I think it's needed. And Jill's going to either keep me on track or just keep me on track, please.
I'll do my best.
In every MSA or every large market or every market, let's say, where there's houses, there's zip codes. In each zip code, you can, let's say I'll use Mesa, Arizona as an example, or Bullhead City, Arizona, for example. Take any city. There's going to be anywhere from 2 or 3 zip codes to 10 or 12 or 15, some number like that. And each of those zip codes has statistics about how many days on market houses it takes to sell a house, how many properties are actually available for sale on the MLS, how many houses are available for sale, compared to the whole number of properties that are actually there as a percentage. And then finally, how many properties are actually sold every month versus listed. So you always want, theoretically, more houses sold last month than were actually listed. You always want a very small percentage of houses that are available in the market as a percentage of the total, so way less than 1%. The lower, the better. And then days on market as low as possible. It takes XYZ. Not XYZ. It takes 30 in each of those zip codes. Sometimes it takes 30 days. Maybe one takes 45. Usually the more wealthy zip codes take 120 days and on and on. A lot of it depends on the market. The important thing is to pit those zip codes against each other, and 1 or 2 are going to be very, very clear. And that's where you want to send the mail. So that is how you pick an environment to send an offer campaign out in. So let's say you choose a zip code. You go to either DataTree or RealQuest or Title Pro 24/7. As a disclaimer, we're licensed providers of all 3. And you download that data and you scrub it how you see is appropriate. We personally take out all the mortgages that are there entirely. That's just how I do it. A lot of other people do it differently in our group with success. It's all some version of success. So great. Now I'm staring at a zip code that I know should probably work, and the 1,200 to 1,500, let's say, SFRs that are in that environment don't have a mortgage. How do I price them? Well, if you go out in Zillow, Trulia, and a lot of different other places, they have an opinion about what that property is worth today. You input all those values, take an average of them, and then reduce your purchase price accordingly. So if the average of all those values, those algorithm values from Zillow and Trulia and everywhere else, is, let's say, $250,000. You might want to, let's say, send out an offer campaign for $190,000. So you know there's $60,000 of profit for you potentially when you buy the property and then mark it up $30,000, let's say, and resell it for some number to the person who might renovate it, or to a landlord who's just going to rent it out. Somebody in the business, not retail. That's how you price an offer campaign.
And you can go lower depending on your market. Like 60 might be too hot, or you want to get more yield versus less yield. Like, because you could really hold out for that transaction, and you're going to send out more mail and be watching for that one.
That's it.
Okay. Versus if you want to come in not so hot, come in at $30,000 because you only want to make 20. Because I know there's people out there that are about that, and they're very happy doing one a week, making $20,000 a pop. That's not crazy. And still doing it quick and fast and easy and have more deal flow. That's an option as well.
Pricing is the number one discussion right now for both land and houses for new people. For some reason, pricing is very confusing, and I'm not sure why. And so tomorrow the show is actually how to price land on the Land Academy show. So it's one of those things that's strange. I think it's simple, but I don't. It's okay. If there's always a confusing part to everything for somebody.
I do too. My way is, all you want to do is use Stephen's technique just to figure out what the real price is and what's really happening in that market.
There you go, Jill.
That's the bottom line. And then you make the offers. This is why, to me, it's not confusing. There's no magic number. It's like there's no secret counties. None of that applies. It's true. You just need to know the facts, and then you're going to back into it and offer the price that you want based on what you want to get out of it. And we all know the facts are, if I want to try to make $60,000 a deal, I'm going to go through more to get that one. It's going to take a little longer. I'm going to send a little more mail. I'm coming in hot. I'm going to get a lot more hate. That's fine. You can do that. Or you can say, you know what? I'm only going to try to make $30,000 off every deal. I'm going to come in much higher, and I'm going to get a lot more deals.
That's it.
It's your decision. It's not hard. It's not confusing.
It's not hard.
It's not, and there's no secret.
Right.
And what I love about it too is this is why none of us are stepping on each other's toes, because we're all doing things a little bit different. And there's how many zip codes in the county? Country, not just the county, by the way. Every county has how many zip codes? There's a lot.
26,000.
I mean, okay, so 3,144 counties in the country.
There's 3,144 counties and parishes in the country, and there's over 16,000 usable zip codes. There's really 26, but some of them are Air Force bases and things like that. So please don't send me email on the exact number. There's all kinds of stats out there.
Right.
I've spent a ton of money determining these are mailable zip codes, and it's about 16,000.
Right. But we're all, thank you. Information, inspiration. Thank you, Captain Technical.
That's a compliment. Captain Technical, I'll take.
Yes, it is. I meant that as a compliment.
I've been called Captain Poopy Pants and stuff.
Oh, you have been called that too. We haven't brought up Captain Obvious in a while.
Oh, yeah.
That was yours for a long time.
See, I think this whole show is, hey, Captain Obvious, thanks.
Exactly.
How do I get the thing in the mail?
Yeah, that's exactly it. So my point here is, now you know what goes into it. We can further share with you what goes into it when you're in our world. In our world, that's all we talk about in great detail. And you choose how you want it to go. Thank you. And while I'm here, I wanted to let you know that you can join us every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on the Land Academy show. And we're here like where we are now every Tuesday and Thursday on the House Academy show.
Tomorrow, the episode of the Land Academy show, how to price your land offer campaign. You are not alone in your real estate ambition.
That was
From
good.
Caro syrup to data
To Captain Obvious.
Captain Obvious.
That's perfect. The House Academy show remains commercial free for you, our loyal listener. And wherever you're watching, wherever you're listening, please subscribe and rate us there.
We are Steve and Jill. Information
and inspiration
to buy undervalued property.